welcome back to another edition of Talkin Ball with Scotty and Sergio. It's been an age since we last spoke. Serge, how are you doing, man? It's been weeks.
I know it's been a minute. Yeah, I'm good, man. It's nice to be in an open city with stuff going on. I know for you, it's gone the other way, the opposite.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, the U.S. has been kind of all, especially California, really closed down, and now it's nice to be kind of back to normality.
And it must be nice to watch some of these games at bars and stuff as well.
Yeah, it's been great. Like the atmosphere and people getting excited with, even the Clippers. The Lakers got bounced early, but everyone's jumped out a little bit on the Clippers, but they're out too now. So,
and before we get into the finals matchup between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns, just remember, guys, to like and subscribe to all our YouTube videos, and you can follow us on Insta at Talking with Scotty and Sergio. But let's get straight into it. It's been a crazy season. Obviously, the NBA started late this year after the NBA took a hiatus last year due to COVID. But 72 games were played. We saw lots of injuries, COVID protocol isolations, and in the end, two teams left standing, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. Serge, no one saw this finals matchup, but who's more surprising to you to be in the finals?
Gotta go with the Suns. I mean, the Suns last year didn't even make the playoffs. Granted, they added a few pieces this year, especially, a massive piece with CP3, but not knowing how CP3 was going to play at age 36, 37, the Suns are definitely the surprise for me.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. What CP3 has done to this young team, he's made them amazing on defense. They're fairly efficient on offense as well. It's just been, it's been incredible from going 8-0 in the bubble to being second in the West, and I think the second best record in the league, to absolutely killing it in most of their series, and here we are. So let's get straight into it. It's been kind of fitting. We have two beloved players, CP3 and Giannis, appearing in their first and well-deserved finals appearances in one of the most trying NBA seasons ever. Serge, let's have a look at the key matchups, and we'll go through each, and we'll give a tick for each winner of the matchup. And at the end of these matchups, we'll see if that decides who's going to win, and then we'll give our predictions. But let's start with the point guards. Chris Paul versus Drew Holiday.
I'm going to give it to Chris Paul for sure. I mean, Chris Paul, this is his chance. And we saw him, how he played in the closeout game, just dropping 40 points, 41 points. He's hungry. There's no one hungrier than Chris Paul. I mean, Giannis might be close, but Giannis is going to have many opportunities. This is might be Chris Paul's only opportunity.
Yeah, I think he wins this matchup. Drew Holiday is a fantastic player as well. He's been a great addition. Yeah, great defender. He's been a great addition as that third player for the Bucks this year. But if you're looking at the PJs showed up, you got to give it to Chris Paul. The next one is where it becomes really tight, the two guard spot. Devin Booker versus Chris Middleton.
That's a very tough one. This is one that I'm gonna give the edge to Chris Middleton because he's more experienced than Devin Booker. Devin Booker, he's a young player. This is his first time going that deep in the playoffs, and Chris Middleton also not only this year but last year when Giannis was out, he really put in good performances, and I think this is his time to shine. He's offensively, he's just more of a threat. In the last moments of the game, he's going to be the guy with the ball, I feel. So I'm going to give the edge to him.
Yeah, I think Booker's a better scorer, but Middleton is an overall player defensively as well, is really solid. And honestly, what a great matchup of guards. We're two really good backcourts with even Booker for a young guy with plenty of experience. Not in the playoffs so much for Booker, but that's going to be a great two matchups to watch. Let's move on to the small forward role. It's a bit hard to pick between the small forwards of some of these teams, but I'm going to do it as a Mikal Bridges versus PJ Tucker. What do you think of this matchup?
Oh, as we saw in the semifinals, PJ Tucker can really hold people down defensively, and he's he's an older player. Bridges
experience.
Yes. So he does have that, and he has that playoff grit. But I don't know. This one's a hard one for me to pick. I'm going to go with Tucker. Again, I'm going to pick experience over, youth and energy.
It is the ultimate youth versus experience. PJ Tucker's been there and done that with the Houston Rockets. Obviously, he's had a crazy journey to get into the NBA from starting here, playing all overseas. But Mikal Bridges is definitely a player of the future. He's definitely been one of the reasons Phoenix have got so far. He's a really long defender, good three-point shooter. So is PJ Tucker from the corner, but PJ Tucker is one of those guys when you need someone to guard the opposition forward and make it really tough for them and get in their face, like he did to Kevin Durant, PJ Tucker is your man.
Yeah.
He's your man. We'll give him the tick on that one. Here comes the tough one. The tough for the Suns. Jay Crowder versus Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak.
Well, this is an easy
Assuming he's fit.
Yes. So that's a big if. But I think Giannis is pretty much unstoppable. What you can do to great players is try to curb a little bit how many points they score on you or how they control the game. But I think if we go back to how Miami took care of stuff, they just crowd the paint a bit. And as long as he's not shooting outside of the paint and he's sticking to his fortes, that Giannis is going to win this. Jay Crowder can only just try to do somewhat of restrict him a little bit, but Giannis is unstoppable in my eyes.
Oh, I completely agree with you. He definitely wins this matchup. And Giannis, when he lets the perimeter game go away a little bit, and he's either coming downhill or he's feasting in the paint, he's unstoppable. Jay Crowder, everyone is going to have to mark Giannis. Probably Ayton, Crowder, Mikal Bridges, Saric off the bench. Everyone, they're going to struggle. But if you can make him just shoot jump shots and three-pointers and even get him to the line, we've seen how bad Giannis is at free throws so far this playoffs. That's your goal. But Giannis definitely wins that one. This is a really interesting one. It's at the center spot. We have DeAndre Ayton, who has been incredible this playoffs, like efficient, great rebounder, really good defensively, versus Brook Lopez, who's not your average center. He's got a really good offensive game. He can definitely play a little bit in the paint. But Brook Lopez is a fantastic three-point shooter these days.
Yeah. And he showed it in the games that Giannis was out. He just really stepped up. He dropped at 30 points. I can't remember which game it was, but he's been great. And also, again, I'm in this situation, as much as Ayton's grown this year, and he credited Chris Paul for that much growth, I've got to go with experience. And I think I'm going to go with Lopez because, again, first time in the finals, these guys are veterans and they're going to be pumped.
Yeah, Brook Lopez has been there deep in the playoffs, fairly deep with the Bucks before as well, and he's been on good teams, and he is the Nets all-time scorer somehow as well, Brook Lopez.
Really?
Yeah, I think that, again, this is like the Mikal Bridges, PJ Tucker. It's experience kind of over youth, and I think DeAndre Ayton is still going to get his in this series, but I think so is Brook Lopez. And that's the players. We've got the coaching and the bench to come. I'm starting to sense a pattern in where these ticks are going. And let's move on to coaching. Monty Williams versus Mike Budenholzer. Who you got in this?
Again, I'm going to go with the Bucks and Budenholzer. I think he's kind of at a crossroads. And I think the only thing that's going to save him from continuing in his job is him winning this championship. If not, I think he will be replaced. So I think there's a lot more pressure on him than Monty Williams.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Monty Williams has taken a very young team. There's definitely more pressure on Mike Budenholzer, seeing they've probably got the team they want now as well with their big three and their role players. This is a tough one. I don't know who's a better coach. I want to give this one to Monty Williams. I'm counting your ticks and all this. I want to give it to Monty Williams just because what he's done this year with this team as an unestablished team. And I think we both picked them to becoming 6th or 7th in the West this year, the Phoenix, and they were amazing. We'll give it to Bud. It is a tough one. I think it's one of those, there's going to have to be a lot of coaching changes in this series because these backcourts, Giannis, you're going to have to look at other ways to nullify what he's doing. But the last one we've got to talk about, Serge, is the bench. And this is where it changes a little bit. And the bench can really mean a lot in a final series where you got to give your big guys rest. Obviously, they're going to play close to 40 minutes or over. But the bench for the Suns, Torrey Craig, Cam Payne, Cam Johnson, and let's say Dario Saric in the main rotation guys. And then Pat Connaughton, Bryn Forbes, Bobby Portis, and Jeff Teague.
This one, I finally am going to go with the Suns. I think the Suns, they a bench that on the regular is a bigger part of their winnings.
The Suns bench, like Chris Paul obviously was out with isolation for a week or two. Cam Payne stepped up to help them get through that second round. Torrey Craig's had his moments. Cam Johnson's been shooting, I think he's averaging in double digits. Dario Saric has a few good games. I give it to the bench as well, except Bobby Portis has been fantastic. Bryn Forbes, Pat Connaughton have been a bit inconsistent. Jeff Teague hasn't played much, but I think the Suns bench for Phoenix to win this year, their bench is going to really have to do a really good job.
Agreed. And I'm dropping his name. Was it the point guard?
Cam Payne.
He's done such a good job. He surprised me so much during this playoff series, all the playoff series, especially, with CP3 going through injuries, getting out, the time he had to spend away for a COVID protocol. He's just stepped up in an amazing way. And
amazing.
Out of the Suns, to me, he's the MVP from the bench.
A lot of guys, a lot of NBA players, JJ Redick, I saw, like they didn't think he was going to make it as an NBA player. A lot of people didn't like his attitude. Obviously, people know him for being Russell Westbrook's dance partner when he was at the Thunder. But just before we get into our predictions and finals MVP, like Cam Payne, he's one of those guys who's earned himself a bag next year. Like someone will have a crack at him, another team. I just want to say, have you got any other players you think out of these playoffs who have earned themselves some money?
Reggie.
That's the other one, Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson scored 20 points nearly every game of every series.
Reggie Jackson's going to get paid.
Yeah. Interested to see where those two guys.
I'm so bad with the names, man. I should have.
The guy from Atlanta, you said, sorry?
High-flying guy from Atlanta.
Oh, John Collins. John Collins was always going to get a big contract. Now it's gotten bigger.
Yeah. So he got an extension offer and he declined. And he really did, but he's going to get paid too.
I was reading an article today about the Atlanta Hawks and making the Eastern Conference Finals. And obviously it's great, but you've probably priced yourself out of some of your young guys now who are going to get offered big contracts because they've done so well. Like there's obviously two sides to this. And Atlanta sitting there going, yeah, sweet. But now John Collins is going to be more expensive.
Yeah. It's a gamble. Everyone takes these front office guys are like, well, look, it could happen. It's worth a gamble, I guess, for both teams.
Before we get into it, this is my prediction. This is a year in advance, or not that long, but the Knicks will fluff on most of their guys they want to get in free agency, and they'll sign Reggie Jackson to like a $25 million deal. 100%. He'll be a Knick next year.
$25 million. He's going to get more than $25 million.
Yeah, probably. With the Knicks. Knicks.
Yeah, so
sorry, Knicks fans.
I don't think Lillard's gonna the biggest on every betting website. The Knicks are the favorite to get Damian Lillard
because they've got a lot of young guys to trade. But then there's half of your good team with RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, all those guys get traded. There kind of goes like Julius Randle isn't good enough to win now. I think
Randle is like a third piece or like a second or third piece.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know how we got so far off topic and we're just talking shit about New York now. It happens. It happens. Sorry, Spike Lee. All right, Serge, here we go. Final predictions. I want to hear who wins, how many games, and who is the finals MVP. Go.
Okay, so I got to start off with an asterisk. Let's suppose I'll let Giannis miss game 1, but let's say from game 2 on, he's healthy and he's healthy.
Oh, sorry for pause 1 moment. A couple minutes ago, we had Chris Paul 1, Middleton 1, PJ Tucker 1, Giannis 1, Lopez 1, Budenholzer. So out of the 7, the Suns won 2 and the Bucks won 5 of those key matchups. on that note, what's happening in the series?
I mean, I'm taking, supposing that Giannis is 90% of himself for the majority of the series, I'm going with the Bucks.
How many games?
6.
Bucks in 6. And the finals MVP?
Giannis.
I also have the Bucks. Sorry, Phoenix. Phoenix, unbelievable this year. And I think this is going to go 7 games somehow, which means the Bucks are going to have to win in Phoenix for the championship. I've got the Bucks in 7. I have Chris Middleton as my finals MVP.
Wow, I like that.
I just think, and you know what? Saying that, the Suns will probably win now that we've both given our predictions, seeing how most of our predictions have gone.
Like the
but
Steve Smith
I'd love to see CP3 win a title, but I really want Giannis to win this year. I think he really deserves it.
So that's one of the positives about these finals. Either team that wins, I'm going to be happy because I know Giannis's backstory, how he was like begging for money on the street in Greece with an immigrant family. I love what Chris Paul's done his whole career and how he loves the game of basketball and respects it. So I'm gonna be going for the Suns because irrespective of, like, I think, Giannis will have more shots at the crown, but this is CP3's shot. So I'm gonna go for the Suns.
Yeah, I think this. Wait, you're gonna go for the Suns to win?
No. I'm rooting for them.
Oh, you're going for sorry, my bad. You're going for the Suns.
But I'm not.
The Suns, mate. I can't wait to start watching tomorrow because I am not going to care who wins. I just want to see the best basketball possible. And these two teams, I think, are going to have one of the best finals we've seen in a long time.
It's great. It's great for basketball. Small market teams. We haven't had 2 small
always. I love it. Can you remember the last time we had 2 small market teams in the same finals? Like Dallas is a small market team. They were the ones I remember. They were versing the Heat. Toronto's a small market team. They took on the Warriors.
I want to say that in my lifetime, it's never happened.
Yeah, there must have been a crazy year. I'll find that. I'll write that down. I'll find that out for the next pod. But that's it for us today, guys. Remember, at the end of the finals, I get to start trimming my beard. Remember to follow our Insta page at Talkin with Scotty and Sergio. In there, you can actually, there's a couple albums. You can go through all of them to see how I progressed. There's so much red, gray. There's it's puby. It's so weird. It's so gross.
It's good though. It's looking like lumberjack style.
I love it. I think the light and the laptop and all that works in my favor a little bit as well. But you can't see the sheer seediness of it, but I keep it clean and everything else. But remember, guys, I'm doing this to raise money for the Indigenous Basketball League in Australia. If you'd like to donate, there's only 2 weeks left, $1, $2, whatever you can. It is also in the link on our Insta page. That's it for us, guys. Serge, any final words before the basketball final start?
No, let's just hope the players stay healthy and we can have a good finals.
Yeah, 100%. That's it for us, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Peace out. Play the music, Serge. Oh.